I'm here at the Agodiwanan Center, the Treaty Relations building here at the Forks. This space has been a place where Indigenous peoples have been for thousands of years, making relationships, marrying, sharing families with peoples from all across the continent. Just over there's a treaty that was made in the 12th century in this place where people came together to share food during a massive continent-wide drought here in North America. Now, people come to share food and relationships in this space to have some dinner. The Forks has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples for thousands of years, but that's not the name of this place according to Indigenous peoples. The name of this place is called Neestoa, 3 points, where 3 communities came together: the Nakota, Lakota, Dakota peoples, also known as the Assiniboine, the Cree peoples, and the Anishinaabe peoples, who all came from different directions from 3 different points in the river system, Neestoa, 3 points, to meet in this place. I'm Niigaan Sinclair. Let's talk a little bit about treaties, and let's go for a walk. Treaties mean different things to different peoples, but there is one consistent message with all treaties. How do we live together? How do we share space? How do we share resources in that space? How do we care for each other and our children and our families together? When people make commitments on treaties, what they are saying is that we will come together to make a family, not friends. I want you to think about what's the difference between family and friends. You pick and choose your friends, but you don't really pick and choose your family. Your family are people that you have to figure it out. Like if you argue with your brother or sister, you don't get to just say, I choose not to be in a relationship with you. They're there for life. And that means for the good, the bad, the great, the ugly times, they're all a part of treaty. And it's the way that peoples stay together, the ways that they continue to live with one another. That's what being in a treaty is all about. I'm here at the monument for murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls and Two-Spirit peoples in Treaty 1 territory, Winnipeg, or Neestoa here at the Forks. You know, treaties haven't always been good for Indigenous peoples. Canada has used these agreements and these promises made hundreds of years ago and interpreted them in a particular way, like land purchase agreements. And as a result, we think of each other differently. We think of each other as those people or you people instead of family. And that's why people go murdered and missing and are forgotten about, and no one does anything about it. Treaties are supposed to be about more. In this place, in Treaty 1 territory, the first footsteps after Confederation and the agreement that was made here between Canadians and Indigenous peoples, they learned of how to live in this place and share land and resources. To never forget that no matter all the difficulties, all of the challenges, we are in this place together forever. In the heart of Turtle Island, here at the Forks or Neestoa, people have been living here for thousands and thousands of years. They've figured it out. And so returning to this place and remembering the promises that were made about not who can buy what off who, not who can benefit more than someone else, but that how can we share, that would be the lesson of living in this place. As you can see on this medal, this was what was agreed to at treaty time between Canadians and Indigenous peoples. It was to live together, to commit to each other, to be at the same height, and to focus on one another, not looking in other directions, but to look at one another and focus on the relationship. To build the land together, which is what that hatchet in the ground represents. To be able to live with one another, with homes on each side, and to come together to make sure that both sides can benefit absolutely from this relationship. And that on the other side, a sun will rise on the beginning of an incredible relationship together, on the land in perpetuity or forever. That's what treaties are. And whether you're in your classroom or in a place like this, where a treaty relations building teaches the public and people who come to this place, Neestoa or the Forks, I hope that you've enjoyed talking a little bit about treaty. Thanks for coming on this walk. Miigwech.